what's going on YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scattered Brilliancy. I know it's been a really long time. And please excuse me because I'm out of breath. I'm Travis.
And I'm Carmen.
And today...
I'm just running up the steps.
I just moved all the stuff in this room.
It's not a lot of stuff.
It's enough. And today we're going to be doing the final video of our baby journey, weeks 32 through labor, delivery, and the first month of our daughter's life. So, how were weeks 32 through 40 for you?
Well, weeks 32 through about 38 was not bad. I mean, got pretty big, pretty tired. But I think like the last 2 weeks was just like very miserable. Like I was big, she didn't have no room. I couldn't do nothing. Couldn't tie my own shoes.
Couldn't dry herself off from the waist down.
Couldn't bend down. No. Could barely put on socks. It was horrible.
She was living in Struggle-land. Struggleopolis, if you will.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, I couldn't do nothing for myself. My mom, she came. She came down, what, like the last 2
4.
weeks?
She was here for like a month before she was born.
Okay, yeah. So she came down for like 3 or 4 weeks before she was born. So she was helping out because I couldn't really clean. Like, Travis was doing all of that. So I couldn't clean up because I was out of breath. Couldn't do nothing. But I had started dilating early. Like in October. I was due November 3rd. So in October, I started dilating.
I was about to say, no you weren't. That's how off everything has been. I forgot your due date.
Started dilating in October. Like the second week in October, I dilated like 2 centimeters. So everybody thought she was coming early.
That's like 2 centimeters. That's like 2 centimeters. This is disgusting.
So everybody thought she was coming early. But she was like, halt. Who goes there? Psych.
She was 2 centimeters for 3 weeks?
Yeah, for 3 weeks.
Like, her mom had us convinced. Because we went to the doctor and you were 2.
2 centimeters.
And your mom was like, oh, like, she's coming tonight.
And I was like 70% thinned out.
And you were 50.
Something like that. I can't remember. It was just like...
But her mom was like, oh, that baby coming tonight. So y'all better get ready.
Nothing. Yeah,
We're going to show you eventually. I need you to calm down, though. You're making all that racket.
Yeah. You tell them. You said April Fools. Yeah, so nothing happened. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready for her to come out. Like, so ready. Like, that's how miserable I was. Like, backaches galore. I couldn't get comfortable sleeping at that time. It was just a mess. So
fast forward, because nothing special happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
So she passed her due date, November 3rd. And
so we was walking the neighborhood, walking the malls.
Anything they said to try, we tried. And when I say anything, I mean anything.
He's so nasty. And nothing worked.
Didn't work.
Every time I went to the doctor,
Nothing.
2 centimeters. Nothing happened.
I think you had thinned out a little more from like 2 to 3. Those weeks between, but...
You mean dilated.
What did I say?
Thinned out.
You did thin out. You thinned out more because you were at 50, and then by the time you went back, you was like 70.
You said thinned out 2 to 3.
I was talking about 2 weeks. Like, you know, you were 3. I know what I'm talking about.
You didn't say weeks.
Those weeks between, but...
Anyway.
So, castor oil, she tried that. It just made her boo-boo a whole bunch. We tried dancing. We did Just Dance 2018. We like went hard in the paint.
Like, I was so sore the next day. When I woke up, oh my gosh, I felt like I had just worked out my whole middle section.
Didn't work. We walked around this neighborhood I don't know how many times. Didn't work. We did the sideways tango plenty of times. Didn't work. Really? Really?
We walked the malls.
Didn't work.
We went.
Shut up!
We went to IKEA. Didn't work. Just walked around. Didn't buy nothing. Just walked.
I was fixing dinner one time and they said, you know, eat spicy food. It already had red pepper flakes in it. She was like, add more red pepper flakes.
And it was so spicy I was burning my lips. My lips was tingling.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
So none of those old wives' tales they talk about, oh, do this and it'll make the baby come. No. They lying. People just, it's a coincidence. Because none of that worked.
At all.
None of it. So, you had an appointment on that Tuesday after, which was our anniversary. She had an appointment on our anniversary on the 7th. And they originally, she was still the same. So they told her that they would schedule her for another appointment like that Friday.
Yeah, that Friday.
For another ultrasound.
Just to make sure, like, she still had enough fluid and stuff like that. Just to make sure she was good since she was over.
So they also said, you're supposed to do an ultrasound and just another appointment?
Yeah, ultrasound and another vaginal check.
But the doctor said that
they were going to schedule my induce date for that Friday, which was the 10th.
Was your appointment on Thursday and the induction was supposed to be Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it was. But they said they were putting on a waiting list and that if something opened up, she could potentially be called in. Early. So I went to work on Wednesday.
That was the next day after the appointment.
And I had probably been at work for like an hour. And she called me and said the hospital called.
The crazy thing about it was you had texted me right before the hospital called and was like, man, I hope they call you early for this, to
oh,
be
yeah, because I want to be at work.
And I swear, not 2 seconds after I replied back to this text message, the hospital called. And was like, hey, we got an opening. You want to come in? And I was like, sure. They was like, how long did it take you to get here? I said about an hour, hour and a half. It was like, so okay, we'll be waiting on you.
I immediately left work, and I was in traffic on the way home. Like, out of all days being in traffic, I was stuck in traffic trying to get home. But we made it to the hospital on time, and we were just like, oh my gosh, today is the day.
But it was so funny when I called him to tell him that today was the day. It was so funny how he was on the phone. I said, hey, I just got a call from the hospital. For real? Yeah, for real. They said, come down. I'm on the way. And like he just hung up.
I did not sound like that.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
I did not.
I was probably like, oh, okay, I'm on the way.
No, he was like, I'm on the way. And it was so funny. But anyway, so we get to the hospital. It's like 8:30 in the morning. So I get hooked up.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's about to happen.
And when they hooked me up to the monitors, I was already having contractions that I couldn't feel. So
we definitely thought it was about to happen.
Yeah. So I was contracting regularly. I just couldn't feel none of them at that time. This was before they gave me the Pitocin. So they hooked me up to my IV and to my Pitocin and everything. And it starts popping.
And just to fast forward this thing along, nothing happened that day.
They ended up breaking my water at like 4 o'clock that afternoon because I had started dilating pretty fast. I had made it to what, like 6 centimeters dilated, but I wasn't thinning out. So they was like, okay, we're going to break your water. She'll push down. She'll thin you out. Then have this baby tonight.
No. Wrong. When I tell y'all that was probably the longest day of my life. Mind y'all, we got to the hospital 8:30 on a Wednesday. All day Wednesday. Nothing. They gave her this little peanut ball, it looked like an exercise ball, but it's the shape of a peanut, and she put it between her legs, and that's supposed to help open everything up. They kept switching her from side to side to side to side.
Every 30 minutes I had to get switched to a different side.
Nothing was changing.
Nothing. So then that Thursday come along.
You had already gotten your epidural though. Or you got the epidural on Thursday.
I got my epidural on Wednesday. I lasted 6 hours without the epidural. Then that Pitocin started kicking in. They hit me up to like that 20 mark. And I tapped out. I couldn't take it no more. I was like, I can't take it. It hurt. It hurt real bad. Give me the epidural. Please give me drugs. So they gave me the drugs.
All night Wednesday night. And I was trying my best not to sleep. So I probably got all maybe like 2 hours of sleep between like Wednesday and when she was actually born, just because I was just trying to be up just to make sure if she needed anything. My mom was in one corner falling asleep. Her mom was in the other corner falling asleep.
And see, I actually also caught an infection on Wednesday night. I had to throw up. I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta throw up. And they checked my temperature and I'm running a fever. And so...
Did you bring it? Oh, yeah.
So I got an infection because they had broke my water so soon. And thinking she was gonna come that night. But I ended up getting an infection in my uterus because my water was broke. So, yeah, that was another little curveball. Wasn't expecting that. So yeah, back to Thursday. So Thursday rolls around and they still switching me on the peanut. Every 30 minutes, switching sides, nothing worked. So then they started changing me, like laying on my stomach. Now, imagine being 41 weeks, big as I don't know what, and they say, lay on your stomach. Oh,
it wasn't like flat. It was like
the
at
last
an
time
angle.
I was flat on my stomach. Like they had me laying flat on my stomach. But I was so drugged up on that epidural because I was on the second bag of the epidural medication. So I was so drugged up. I was asleep. But it was still like awkward. But after they did that, I started dilating and thinning out. She was born at 12:41.
That Thursday.
So
from Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. all the way until the next day at 12:41 in the afternoon.
28 hours of labor.
Y'all, it was rough.
Rough. And that last hour of pushing was the worst. Oh my gosh. Like, they say you'll feel the pressure, like you need to push. I felt the pressure.
They say you feel like you gotta poop and to push. And she pushed. And she pooped. And I've never felt closer to anyone else watching fecal matter come out of their anal cavity. Yeah, I felt it was terrible. Like watching her poop on this table while she's trying to push out the baby, it was one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever done in my life. And not to mention, it smelled horrible.
Because I was backed up.
She didn't know she pooped. And I wasn't going to say nothing because I already knew she was on edge. And if I had said anything like, this stank, I felt like she would have got mad at me. So it took every fiber of my being to stand right there, this far from her butthole, smelling this ish, and not make it show on my face. But when I tell y'all it stunk, it stunk.
I was backed up. I couldn't. She had me backed up, y'all.
But she finally came and it was like, whew.
Yeah, I felt all the contractions when I was pushing though. Like the epidural did not work when it comes to feeling the contractions as I'm pushing. It was horrible. I felt it all. Like, I don't know how I did it. By feeling the contractions on top of the pressure and pushing her out all at the same time. I was out of breath. I was hurting, tired, everything out of the bed. I don't know how I did it. But I did it.
So, Tegan was born, and we were like, all right, you know, everything's good.
Like that feeling right when the baby come out is like one of the best feelings. Like I think my body died for like 2 seconds. Like she came out, she was like, bloop, out, and I died, and I came back.
I watched everything. I should have said, if you're eating and drinking, you probably shouldn't watch this video. But I watched all of the nasty stuff come out. Like I was really fascinated by all the gunk that came along with it. You ready to be seen, huh? It ain't time yet. Alright, and so we thought everything was cool, but unfortunately because Carmen had caught a infection because they had broken her water so early, the infection ended up passing to Tegan. So it was time for Tegan to eat from a bottle. Carmen has been pumping, but of course she wasn't doing that then because your milk doesn't come in that quickly. But she wouldn't take the bottle. So they were like, okay, maybe she's just, you know, tired from all that time of her being in labor. So then we tried again to feed her. She wouldn't take the bottle.
Nothing.
So eventually what they had to end up doing was put her in the NICU because she wouldn't eat. So Unfortunately, she spent some time in the NICU. They were just trying to get everything back on track. They had to take her blood, send it down for a culture check, which they have to keep for 48 to 7 days just to see if she caught meningitis from everything that was going on while she was still in the womb, because they said she was in distress. But that was a hard time because Carmen ended up getting discharged from the hospital before Tegan did. So it was really difficult, and we aren't going to stay on it too long. But it was really difficult to have to leave her at the hospital. We know a lot of parents go through it, so we can definitely understand how difficult that is to have to leave your child in the NICU. And you get to come home, and you think you're going to bring your baby home, and you don't.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest things that I had to do. Like, I know he was being strong for me, because I was just bawling my eyes out that whole day that I got discharged. Like, I didn't even want to go see her in the NICU because I couldn't even say, like, oh, I'll see you later. Like, it was so hard. It was the hardest thing ever.
And they had her, strapped up to all the different things. She had IVs and everything. So I was just trying to be strong for her. And the craziest thing about the whole NICU thing is, before you can go in, you have to wash your hands for 3 minutes straight.
Yeah.
My hands have never, ever, ever in my life been as clean as they were while we were going to visit her. Literally, you have to stand at the sink and wash your hands for 3 minutes.
They have a timer at the sink.
Yeah, you got to start the timer and then it'll go off. And if you go in and come back out and want to go back in, you got to wash your hands all over again. But anyway, Tegan finally started eating in the NICU. They took her off the IVs. Everything started going up. Her blood culture came back negative. And we finally got to bring her home. And now we'd like to show y'all the beautiful little girl that God has blessed us with. Because she is not feeling this right now. So you're going to do your first debut and you're going to act up.
Say hi, world. This is Tegan. This is our little blessing, our little miracle baby.
Let me zoom in from this side. Tegan. Y'all, she be staring at, I don't know what she be staring at. Tegan. Okay, well, hey, there it is. So, let me turn this so I can see it. So, we've been at home chilling this whole time, just readjusting to life. This past month actually hasn't been that hard. People make it seem like when you become a parent, you don't get no sleep.
Like, you're just, like, dog tired. Like, you just, like, working on fumes.
And that just has not been our experience.
No.
I mean, maybe because we're lucky and blessed and all of that, but we're at least getting, at the very least,
like 6 hours.
Every night. At least 6 hours. She was sleeping maybe like 3 hours, and she'd wake up to eat, and then she'd go back to sleep for like another 3 hours. So when she was sleeping, we were sleeping. So, I mean, it's only been 2 or 3 nights that she was just having a really hard time going to sleep. Yeah. But other than those 2 nights, she's pretty much slept the way she's supposed to. Of course, she's not sleeping through the night because she's not supposed to yet. But things haven't been hard at all. I go back to work on this coming up Monday. But luckily for me, it's, I'm a teacher, so I go back Monday and Tuesday, and then I go Wednesday, and I'm right back out for Christmas break, so.
Yeah, and I don't go back until after Christmas, so.
I've been enjoying this time off. I'm not going to want to go to work on Monday. And that's probably going to be the hardest thing for me in this whole process. But we are really blessed. We're glad that y'all have been with us throughout this journey and gotten a chance to meet our little girl, who everybody says look like me.
Yeah, I don't know. She is his twin. Like, I called it when I saw the sonogram when we found out she was a girl. Like, the profile shot of her sonogram looked just like him. Like, the nose.
Come here.
And everything.
You smiling for the people.
Like, I called it. Like, I was like, she's going to look just like him. And she comes out, and who does she look like? Him.
Who do you think she looks like?
You.
Look at you. Look at you. You gonna say hey to the people in YouTube land? Gotta put your beard in front of your face. Say, hey, YouTube people. Hey. Yeah, wait, Hannah. Say, what's up?
Yeah, this is Daddy's little girl already. Like, she gives him so many smiles and stuff like that. Like, I'd be so jealous.
Because I'm cute.
Anyways.
Where's the lie?
So.
Exactly.
She's cute.
And she looks like me, so... Hello.
But it looks like she has my hair jeans.
And thank God it ain't mine. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for watching. We'll be doing, of course, more videos. Just talking about life with Tegan. That'll probably be the name of them. Ain't that right?
It's that little princess.
Little girl. Alright, so make sure y'all remember to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. I ain't said this in so long. If you have any questions that you want us to answer about being new parents or anything like that, be sure to leave it down in the comments. You can always email me at scatterbrilliancy. And I'll probably do another video really soon. And we'll be talking to y'all later. Peace.